Alright, let's get this going here. What do I want to do? We can start going through Stormvale Castle, which isn't going to be hard. I could go do Gale Tunnel, which is probably a better play. Do I have the strength to do it? Also, I don't know. I think that is a jellyfish type situation. And do I have anything to really leverage? I do not have the magic, because I need arcane to do my bubble boy type beat. Glintblade Phalanx. It works. We'll toss it on. Nothing there. Yeah, that's about fair. I have no other Ash War I can utilize. So I guess we're going this way then. Just have to remember how to make my way to Gale Tunnel. Secret tunnel. I gotta think. I'm not that good at thinking. What I will do is I will put Glintblade Phalanx on. I think there's a tree down here. Yeah, there's a tree. I need to buy more sorceries. This is not where I need to go. Erdtree Catacombs. Don't remember the boss here. Yeah, we'll do this later. I might actually go and gank a few, whatchamacallits. A few vulgar militiamen, just so I can build up enough runes to buy all the spells. This way I don't have to worry about them and I have access, because I can use some of them. Damn, that damage is depressing. think 4 kills? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna need more mind. That was a bad cast. I should get the gold scarab too. But I just don't want to go through that dungeon right now. It would be useful, but I don't have the talisman slot, and it's just gonna suck going through there. Realistically, I need 20 Vig. Oh, I need so much arcane. But yeah, I need like 20 Vig. I need to get mind up. A lot I need. I mean, other option is we go down to Weeping Peninsula. Get some kills down there. Which wouldn't be too bad. We have options. We're gonna go try to buy spells, though, because I can use them in a lot of cases. Celan, what do you have?
Shall we commence the lecture?
Uh, uh. Okay, so Carrion Slicer's good. Glintstone Ark's good. I mean, I'm gonna buy them just for completion's sake. But man, some of those suck. We'll try Carrion Slicer out. I'm probably gonna get just smoked, but it'll be funny. You, test subject, come here. It works, but also I almost died. That kind of hurt. Didn't help that he also decided to just absolutely clear me. Got hops like Spud Webb. Because, yeah, that. If we're being honest, that is cheaper. I guess that's why people use this. Is it's pretty cheap, all things considered. I mean, I got, what, 4 guys out of a single flask? That's not bad. Better than 2 guys for 1. So we'll get like 15k so I can get my intelligence up a bit more. Because my damage output is just, it's not where I need it. Or where I want it, at least. I'd like to be clearing guys a little faster. I get I am probably over-leveled for everything I always am. But I'd rather be over-leveled than under-leveled. Getting smoked for no good reason isn't fun. Plus, I'm gonna need, I think, a good amount of power to kill the magma worm. Because if I can kill the magma worm, then I get Moon Veil, and I can just ride off that for a while. Because I was going through what weapons I would use. I was on the wiki looking. And I feel like that's kind of one of my, I mean, it's probably my best early option. I don't think I have a lot to power it up, but since I have a moment, I'm actually going to check. No, I can get it to +1. Oh, I have golden seed, didn't even know. But the upside is at least I can get something put into probably this for a while. Because I'll need a bludgeoning weapon against the Crystallians. Actually, we're going to do 1-1. Oh, I need 2 golden seeds. I'm at that point already. But yeah, I need something just to carry me a little bit further. And since I'm more dex based, that limits my options. Plus, the int strength weapons aren't really into their more strength. Alright. Because what do we need? We need 7,000, so we'll go like 15 again. Because that'll be enough for 2 levels. Plus all the extra... How many... So we have 1,000 there. We could... Yeah, we'll just clear these couple guys. I should have enough for some levels. With how much this is going to be probably carrying spells, I almost want to... I'll have to grind to get it, but get the Carrion Royal Scepter. It's probably my best bet. Yeah, that's about good. Get down to the ruins. Swing over and try to clear the tunnel. Okay, so I need... We'll just use all of you. And you should be it. Or is that a drop down? I think that's a drop down from Rot View. Yeah, that looks about right. Because it's not the other cave that's like the prison cave. Because that's where you get the arcane sword that you can also just cheese up a hill to get. Yep. So we got these guys. Yep, Gale Tunnel. Alright, man, come on. He's stuck. Fine, I'll fight the random miner. Who can just poise through everything, apparently. Oh, is this where I get the cross Naginata? I think it is. Yeah, because the little land octopuses, and then there's in there. Yep. Yep, all of it's coming back to me. Because then he'll be, yep, dangling from the ceiling. I mistook it for the other cave because it's the exact same layout with the exact same gimmick of him hanging from the ceiling. And that threw me off. Because it should be that body right there. Yep. And that's really strong because it's a pole arm. With good deck scaling. And it already outclasses our weapon. Maybe I'll switch to that. It's a bit heavier. Doesn't have the strike bonus, which is nice, but I can just hit people with rocks. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll make it to the boss, open up his area, find Alexander, and then once we find Alexander, we can use the other safe way through and cheese all this. Why do you have the glowing eyes? I have yet to die in here. Off ledge you go. Yeah, the stance break is just so strong. That's boss. And now we get to say hello to the boy.
Oh, the esteemed warrior. Where did you spring from? This was supposed to be a dead end, I'm sure of it. What's going on here? A door from thin air. Well, stranger things happen at sea, or so I'm told. But onward to the Kaled Wilds? Gosh, that dead end had me rather stumped.
A door from nowhere. That's pretty clearly a door, my guy.
It's time I the festival at Redmane Castle on the southern edge of the scarlet rot blighted Kaled Wilds. Doesn't the thought just set your heart aflutter? It's time I the festival. Doesn't the thought?
Let's see what we can do with that Naginata, though. Can you be made into something really cool? Yeah, I can put gravitas on it. So that's not bad. It just sucks. It tanks the C scaling. All right, jellyfish and just rock sling. Go jellyfish, distract him. Boy, I am gonna need a lot of rocks here. Oh, the jellyfish poison got him. I think we got a bleed proc, which is good. I was about to say, this guy is not spitting magma like he should be. See, this is the magma worm nonsense I'm used to. Wahoo! Moonveil. The damage is admittedly all around lower, but I don't have any upgrades on it yet. But it'll get a lot better. Plus, I can do this. And that's all that matters. Yeah, Hugh. I was like, wait, where can I get the upgrades? But nope, I can just go to Hugh. We have that set up. Thought for a second I had to go find EG, and then I was like, wait, how did I get my first upgrade then? I should probably talk to her.
Greeting. I am circumscribed.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
So
Don't care for you.
Do you think it fell where I come from?
Then we're just gonna instantly burn the blessing because I don't like the debuff.
You are. Though it is but a come back to, I will take.
Bro, just need a hug. Yeah, because now we have like a HP debuff. Okay, my guy is a dude. Just when he gets hit, he sounds like a woman. Strange.
Well, I took it no matter. It's all out your arms then.
Yeah, so we can bring that up. Almost a +3, which would be nice. But we can't. Sword of St. Trina would be interesting, but I don't work well with it. Could keep upgrading the Morning Star. What I'd like to get is Great Stars, but that's down the line. Could do Twin Blades. Could do the Lance. We just still don't have the strength. I just like Charge Forth. That's actually really fun to just run people through.
Well then.
I am not doing a faith build, so I don't really need any of this, sadly.
May the Golden Order.
Uh, we'll do 25, and then we'll dump into these two. And probably a bit of endurance. 11 kind of sucks. We'll go talk to Kenneth Height. Get him to be like, hey, I got booted out of my castle, and then I get to go beat a bunch of random dudes. And he's like, gee, thanks. I'm gonna go try to talk to the demi-humans. And then he's gonna find out the demi-humans don't care. And then he's gonna be like, hey, help. I always found it strange how there's just a handful of humans left and everybody else is weird kind of zombie soldiers or demi-humans. I get that's always been like the Souls style, is every setting is essentially post-apocalyptic.
Well, that's no. Despite appearance, you might have. Young Tarnished, I want you to take a night.
Yep, go kill the Night Commander. I'm on it. Yeah, it's always been kind of the thing is like every setting is essentially post-apocalyptic. The world has already crumbled. The big thing has happened and you're just kind of living in the remnants. Which is a cool concept. Because we always see post-apocalyptic as like sci-fi, and I feel like that style, but fantasy, has never really been done, at least notably, or done well. Ooh, butt slam. I could start just smashing my butt cheeks on people. Become spontaneous bootay.
Welcome, dear Cast. Welcome, valued Cast. Please, I'm hungry.
I don't really care for either of those. Yeah, we'll buy the smithing stones. I might put them to use in something. Yeah, if I didn't already have my character butts, I would absolutely make spontaneous bootay now. Assist fellow Tarnish by crushing enemies with my gargantuan butt cheeks. I hope the next Souls game they bring that back. That was too good of a meme move to just pass on and be like, nope, it's never coming back, we're done. He's just standing there, menacingly. Come on. Yeah, leave your stick there. Oh, I never get their flail. Even on my main save, I never got the pumpkin head flail. Which sucks because I really wanted it. Oh yeah, this place is full of rats, and then when we clear it, then it becomes just full of demi-humans. That's what I was looking for. Baiting these guys into firebombing the explosive barrels is sometimes a little too difficult for what you get out of it. But the joy in knowing that they killed a teammate is priceless. I said it before, I miss Covenants. I miss the Mound Makers. Never played as them. I saw like 2 Mound Makers ever. But it was always cool to just see some purple numbnuts because every time they would just try to do PvP, and it's like, yeah, you kind of got set up for that. But it was cool. I wonder if there would be a way to have, like, open air areas, if this makes sense. I know it's not the best way to word it, but like open instance where if you play Destiny, you could go into an area and it'd be like, oh, hey, there's random people dropping in and out. I think it'd be cool if players could do that and have just a bunch of covenants and some dudes just trying to ruin everybody's day while you have other dudes who are like, hey, I kind of just do everything. And then some people who are a mix. Yay, Bloody Slash! More or less mandatory for arcane builds. Oh yeah, we can go get Reduvia. I think my arcane guy uses that. I haven't used him in ages. Like all my other characters. I can't remember which mod it is. I think it's not Reforged, one of the other ones. They put that knight up here and you have to fight him for the Dectus medallion, which I think is cool. Really locks down the area, so it's a lot harder of a fight than just like, yeah, you can just flee from him at any point. God, I wish I remember which mod it was, because it's not Ascended, because Ascended is just like the mod maker hates you. Because every boss has like insane damage resist and regenerates health. And you deal. God, I was watching Scumnut do a run. He was like, oh yeah, he was playing different Elden Ring mods. And Ascended, everybody's just shitting on the mod, rightfully so. Was made, the mod developer gave up because, this is funny, he gave up because his testers beat the game at soul level 1, which is impressive because, like I said, every boss regenerates health. What happened is, in Scumnut's run, he did a passive rune farm, hit 99 like strength, used a great sword, did charged, heavies, and was dealing like 2,000 damage, and that was maybe 1/12 to I'd say 16th of the boss's health. And the boss would regen that damage in about 10 to 15 seconds. And everybody's like, yeah, the only way to beat it is to abuse status effects. But that's what's so funny is the mod maker making it so difficult, and then he just quit because people kept beating it. And one of the guys who tests is like, yeah, the last playable version you can't beat because the mod maker made it so Fire Giant takes 3 damage, and he just instantly heals out of it. I was like, oh, that's just stupid. Like, that's not even a fun challenge. That's just someone who's absolutely malicious. And the stories I heard was like the guy made the old Ascended mods that were good, and then he got mad because Dark Souls 3. You enjoy watching me play a game? Thanks. And yeah, the guy playing, what was it? He got mad because people beat his Dark Souls 3 Ascended mod, and he said that they did it the wrong way. So he just started messing them all up to become harder and harder. I was like, really? I don't know. If I was making mods, I'd just be happy people are having fun with them. If I wanted to make like more challenging versions, I'd be like, hey, here's like base version, and here's a plugin that's like my hardcore mod. Here's super hardcore, and just make goofy challenge runs. Because there was that. There's another like randomizer run I saw recently. Little Aggie did, and I'm trying to think of everything that the guy. This is a different mod maker, but what they did to it. It was a nightmare like randomizer that had a set seed. There were just bosses everywhere. There were spots where instead of maybe a couple animals, it was like a promise consort, Radon, a General Gaius, and then one of the lobsters. And your whole thing was you couldn't really fight through it. You just had to spam dodge rolls and try to squeeze through. And you couldn't get shields, spells, staves. You couldn't get thrown weapons, so no kukris. You couldn't get... What else was there? Please, let me pick that up. Bows weren't allowed. You were limited to just like specific melee weapons. And I was just sitting there like, what's the point? If you're going to put those restrictions in, that should just be a player choice. People already do challenge runs where it's like, yeah, I can't use blah. It's like, that's fine. They're putting it in feels less like, oh, I'm going to make it harder on myself, and it's more like, I don't like how you play. It's like, I don't care, dude. People probably get butthurt that I do summons in boss fights. I'm like, look, I don't care. My ruling has always been, if it's in the game, it's fair. The devs intended it to be there, they intended it to be used. Now, when people start doing like the like Starfist, Cragblade kind of stuff, where it's soul level 1, you're just stagger spamming, I think that's a little cheap, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you didn't actually beat the game. No, you beat it. You found a way to, beat it. You kind of cheated in a little bit, because enemies don't get increased stagger resist. Meanwhile, they do get, I want to say, other status effects they do gain increased resistances to. Which also I think kind of sucks. It's really brutal when you're trying to, like, use poison. The game's just like, nah. They're more resilient now. I'm like, why, man? Poison sucks enough. There's a reason the only viable poison builds are with poison moth flight. Like, you have to use that, or you just can't win with poison. I had to, I'm here. Yeah, we'll go through the castle. That'll be fairly quick, realistically. The worst part is going to be the night. I hate the Banished Nights. But hopefully Moonveil can... It's not going to carry. Let's be real with ourselves. Moonveil's good, but it's not carry me through the encounter good. trying to think what int weapons even do that. Oh. I thought this was the part where you have the little drop off. I think that's right here. No? Oh, yep, it is. Couldn't remember. I was like, there's somewhere with a little ledge you can hop off for some free stuff. Even though I don't need most of this, I'm also not trying to like speed run. I mean, there are people who do speed run, and in the time I've already spent on this run, they've beaten the game. I've seen a few people do the "Can I beat Elden Ring and refund it" challenge. It's really funny when they fail because then they're having to rebuy the game like 4 times. But then you realize they still succeed, and I'm like, damn. Good thing I'm just over here having fun, just goofing. I don't think there's any game I can realistically speedrun.
You there? Come over here, would you? It's tightly got. Oh, the guards, you'll breach them.
Oh, I'll use the main gate.
Well, but of course. The gates! Open the gates!
And then I'm not going to go that way because you die instantly. Ah. Out of range. I always hate the Warhawks. Their animations are just so wonky at times. Some of these phantoms, it's either people who are on like New Game Plus, or some people are doing very weird runs. Because like that guy was running great sword and a helmet you get in, I think, a Liurnia dungeon. It's a neat helmet. I just don't have it. Actually, is there anything back this way? My memory is bad. It's nothing important. No. Honestly, I wish we'd get better ranged weapon options. I think crossbows, I don't think any of them scale, or they scale very poorly. Which, considering how easy they are to dodge, I wish they would give them better scaling or something. They have a lot of versatility. Especially in this with how many bolt options you have. They're just still kind of meh. Yeah, that guy has the... Oh, it's a black flame greatsword that you get from the Divine Tower. I need like one more point in probably intelligence. I hate being just a shred off of one-hitting guys. Oh yeah, especially here. If I can't one-hit the garbage, we're gonna have a problem. Get hook claws here, those are fun. I think I run those on my arcane guy, because I think they're one of the better claw weapons. Alright, throw the bomb. Thank you. Oh, I saw news about Blue Point. Since they're shut down by Sony now, there's rumor, don't know if it's 100% real or not, but rumor that they had asked to do a Bloodborne remaster last year. And if the rumor is true, then FromSoft said no. And I kind of had to laugh because people were like, oh, why would FromSoft say no? And I'm like, I remember Miyazaki being very proud of that game. And I could very much see him, because I remember him saying, or in an interview, him wanting to do, what was he wanted to do like a PC port? Which I wouldn't blame him. Like, if you're kind of gung-ho on it, you probably don't want to hand it off to someone else. And there's also probably, to some degree, the matter of Duskbloods is coming out. I had to think for a second what the game was called. Yeah, the Duskbloods is coming out for the Switch in the unknown future sometime. And they probably don't want to have a game competing because Nintendo might get a bit bum-bruised about it. Which I don't blame them. And maybe Miyazaki's like, hey, I've been waiting to do like a Bloodborne 2. So, hands off this one for now. And there isn't really another FromSoft game off rip that I'm like, oh yeah, we need a remaster of. Hey, I rolled, dude. I should have just punched him to death as punishment. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing going on, which I understood really both sides. I know people liked the Demon Souls remaster. I do think they missed the mark on some of the artistic sides of it. Especially the NPCs in the Nexus. Everybody looks kind of frumpy. Except the Shrine Maiden, she looks fine. Or Maiden in Black, I guess. She's the one NPC that I feel like they didn't screw up on. That said, it's kind of hard to mess up her look without just completely changing the character. But I think that's also a matter of... Ooh, cool, Brickhammer. Bluepoint, from what I know, they outsource a lot of their character design stuff. And I've seen studios doing that more and more, where it's like, it's an American studio, but most of the work is outsourced to, like, Korea. That's what happened with, God, what's the studio's name? The people who made Highguard. When you look at their employee listing, which you can't find anymore because they removed that from the site. Actually, I think the site's down still. What they had is they had like manager of concept outsource, manager of character model outsource, hard texture or hard surface outsource. They had like 8 or 10 outsourcing managers who each did a different thing. And I was like, so what did you do in-house? Because it's starting to look like you did next to nothing in-house and you just paid other people to do the work for you. Which renders all of this moot, because like then some people may argue this. I don't consider you really an indie studio. I mean, they weren't because they're backed by Tencent, so indie isn't exactly what I would consider them. But like, you're not really indie because you're not doing anything. You're a outsourcing agency. I feel like that's not even really a controversial take to have, just like, hey, you should probably make the games instead of just telling other people to do it for you. It's kind of what I fear when it comes to all this AI stuff now. Because I've seen so many people like, oh, it's gonna change the games industry. Everybody's going to be able to make their own game. I'm like, you realize that's just going to kill like every element of the industry, right? And depending on cost of doing that, I'm glad I did not die when I jumped that. You may see just horrible price hikes on AI services because you need way more put into these, or we're just going to see less studios. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it'll open up more jobs. No, it won't. If you can make a game with like 10 people that is even like PS4 level quality, then you're just going to see companies be like, I don't need all these people, and everybody's going to scramble to try to find some place, and it's just going to end poorly. Not to mention, like, stuff like multiplayer is gonna be real jank. I don't know. I foresee strange times ahead. Huh. Right, it's over on this one. Yep, so we drop down here. And then there's the bird right there. We could go that way. Okay, I love being stagger locked. That's fun. Guess I should have just backed off. Back up we go. I kind of have mixed feelings. On one hand, I'm glad we don't have the old style where if you died, you had your health reduced. At least until you used, like, an effigy or you beat a boss or something. But at the same time, I do miss that. That was a fun bit of challenge. And it was easy to get it back realistically. The only problem really arose was as the games aged, it would be harder and harder to find players. But I feel like that's always been the problem with Souls games. And it's gotten better over time. You know, Elden Ring feels a lot better thanks to the Spirit Ashes. But I also think, you know, the issue still persists. Whoa, almost jumped, thought I could make it. Actually, since that guy... That was a lot easier. Yeah, that is the one issue, is just like player counts, especially if someone is getting into the game late. They can be put at a big disadvantage. But I feel like there's still a good number of people. I was playing the Shadow of the Erdtree expansion on my like main character, level like 400, and I could still find players to group up with. People still had summon signs down. It was a little harder, to be fair, to find people or like to get summoned, but I think that's just because at that level everybody's kind of like, yeah, I'm good, so I don't need help, but I'm willing to help others. It'd be cool if there was a way for the game to be like, hey, you can get summoned at any level to assist. You just take some degree of a stat line penalty. Oh, I hate these guys so much. Banished Knights are the worst. It's weird going this way through, like, the first time through. Because usually this is like, oh, I'm going to do my second run through the castle to clear all the extra spots. Because this is the front. Yep. Because you have to use the stone sword key on the other end to open this up. Because that's all the dudes at the crossbow or on the ballistas, because there's the entrance. Oh, I forgot to get that guy. Oh well. Didn't realize I accidentally hit the wrong button. Unequip my sword. Alrighty. So we got those guys. who I'm just gonna glint blade if I can. Wow, 3 things off that guy. I've seen people try to say the torch pole that they have is a viable thing, or they try to make a build, and I'm like, yeah, that's ambitious, man. I'm gonna be honest. Wouldn't catch me trying that. Do I have to... No. Cool. Now we can run in and get the loot, which is, I think, all terrible. Ballista bolts. Yeah. Yeah, all of these are the same thing, guys just trying to dodge and getting ballistaed to death. Now we got the lion here, who I think we can just run past. That is a problem for future me to deal with. Honestly, so is that. That's another future me problem. I don't even think I can do anything there just yet. We can level up though, because we need 1700, and we have the runes for that. How much do I need? Yeah, so I'll just use 1. That's not bad at all. Health is health, always good. Oh wow, that brings me down to perfectly 100 runes. More FP, or, as I was complaining earlier, I could use the intelligence just so I can hit harder. We'll hit harder. We'll kill the lion because we're here. Alright, now to... Nope, still can't fast travel. I'll reset then. Because I'll just go back up to the tower. And then we have two ways to go about this. We can either do it the right way and through, or we go back, make it over to there. We get on from there, we're just above my head, over to that roof, run across, jump, and scramble up there. But we've already cleared that area, so it's kind of pointless. Go, Bird Destroyer 3000. And we can jump off here. Right down there. I think there's a spot, though. Nope, just kind of a jump wherever, I guess. And then it's go further down this way. And over here. One thing I always love about these games is the first couple weeks where everybody's helping each other and everybody, like, nobody knows anything. Every player's equally clueless. There's no meta, there's no builds, it's just a bunch of people who are like, hey, I think this might work. That has to be, in my opinion, the best time for Souls games. Just because the chaos is so fun. Crucible Knights hurt. I hate fighting these guys so much. I know you can parry, but I am bad at parrying, so not really the most useful thing for me. The only other option would be like, I can't because of weight and strength restrictions, but just stagger spam. I wonder. I do need the extra point in strength to use it, but could the lance be an option? I'm not gonna go back for my runes. I don't really care. It's 1800. If I do go back, it'll probably be later because we have to for quest line stuff for Roger. And I would do it just because I want his weapon. The actual fight itself, I don't care for. But yeah, just the early days. I've wondered if there's a way to kind of recapture that feeling. And I'm not 100% sure you can. The only way would be to have, honestly, insane levels of RNG. I'm talking, you would have to make a game that every dungeon or every legacy dungeon like this, where it's one big contiguous location, has to have multiple random gen portions. You need to have a variety of bosses with permutations within that aren't just a damage type but full attack patterns if they have health. It would have to be so much that one player would take a long time to master or document everything.
Ah, nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something here when I'm not hot-footing it from. But enough about me. This place is not exactly a... I see. You can see... Well, I'm tiny, but still.
How that you can tell
Educated
his
to
bit.
learn more.
Oh,
As
I'm a
fellow
sorcerer. If you couldn't tell, yeah, it's the foppish hat, isn't it? Carrying greatsword's not bad. Spinning weapon can be stupidly strong. Like that, if you slap it on like Knight Rider flail, could be pretty good. Because I think it might hit harder. But I don't know the attack ratios and damage and everything. I don't. I know enough about the game, I don't care to get bogged down in minutia. I just feel like at a certain point, I don't say you know too much at that rate, but you kind of min-max yourself out of playing. Like, oh, I can't experiment, that's gonna have a bad, like, skill or damage ratio to this with this Ashawar, and it's like, man, shut up and have some fun. Slap a weird Ashawar on a weapon. Play with Storm Stomp. Who cares? I mean, my complaint with like Storm Stomp and all the Storm Weapon or Storm Weapon arts is there isn't a charge. I want there to be, well, a few things. I want there to be like a charged up or a chain where it does like a storm, a bigger storm, and then a third storm that's bigger with lightning strikes at random, just to really lean into the storm element of it. And I want to see I want to see just crazy stuff. Or something that reduces enemy resistance to lightning damage for a little bit. Like, go crazy. Like, what's gonna happen? Some more tools might be available for the player. I can think of worse fates. Oh yeah, the drop down. I'm sitting here, I'm like, what is the point of this area? And I was like, oh yeah, yep, I remember now. And the grafted scion hanging out down there. Oh, I should open this door. Two idiots trying to hit each other through a door. I'll clear that later. I'm gonna drop down and get all this stuff. And then I think we can head back to Stormhill Shack with the memento. We talked to her. Now that we have that in hand.
It was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can tell them I love them. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole... What's this? A keepsake? From my men? Oh, I can't... They all believed in me. They all said I'd make something for myself, for me. You can't do anything. I think I'll head to the Round Table Hold. Perhaps I'll find my purpose there.
I love how they can make their way to the Round Table Hold, yet we needed Melina to be like, hey, I can give you a ride. But everybody else is like, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, walk. Okay, and I think now if we go back, we gotta make our way through though, but if we drop down to that spot, it should have an item for us. Let's see if I can remember the timing on this jump. Yeah, still got it. And he's down there breaking tables like the Dudley Boys. Come on, sneak by already. Of course, it was too short of reach. The Highland Axe, that's good for roar builds, which there are no good roar builds. Oh yeah, we gotta step on this. Now this works. Why you would use this, I don't really know. It's kind of the problem with some of the elevators here. Like, the thing is, I get it. This brings you back up and then you can go up the tower. But to get here, you would have had to have gotten to the previous, to this rampart tower, because you have to go up to get down and in here. The only way I see it working otherwise is if you go straight through and make your way in. But if you, even if you go in blind, let's say you talk to what's his nuts, I think it's Gostock, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna go in the front door. You go in, get sniped. You're probably like, well, back in that room, there's another door. I'm gonna go that way. So you go up through and up here anyways. You have to be exceedingly stubborn to fight your way through and go this way. Hey, Summer 2, I think I need that. And we need this, because this is a smithing thing. Nope, not that one. This one? Yeah, Iron Wet Blade. Don't mind me, sir. Yeah, because then the other spot when we go out that was sealed off, that door gives you the black flame incantations. I was going to say miracles. That's a completely different thing. I'll admit that is a me gripe. But like, why'd they rename miracles to incantations? I feel like miracle conveyed everything you needed to know. And it was very easy to differentiate faith-based stuff, which obviously was miracles, to sorceries, which is intelligence. Like an incantation, that's just a saying. I love how menacing that lineup is, and it's just like, no, just step out and run immediately to the left. Ah, I can't believe I died to rats. Doesn't help that the Moonveil strike is kind of weird. Oh well. We'll just go the even faster way this time. Yeah, that's the usual landing I make where I flinch super hard because I realize I could have died. Never mind, I screwed it up. Because you just drop onto there and go. Realistically, he's dead. So we can just skip through here. I mean, that was faster. But the easier way would have been drop from the roof. You drop from the roof to the other roof, drop out, and you're outside. And from there you can just clear everything pretty easy. I should have equipped Glintstone Arc. But I wanted to be special. What? Who? You. One guy followed me. Unexpected. But, smithing stone, I'll take that. Also, how am I getting, moderately decent drops with incredibly low arcane, but I will sit here with like 50 arcane and I will get one item, if that. Like, my drop chance is improved the higher my arcane is. And this time the game's like, nah, No, you can have garbage and we'll still give you stuff. Yeah, this is that one way we went. Because there's all the guys again. Then we just crack this open. This should be Godslayer seal. Yep. And the Godskin Prayer Book, which gives you... where do you put that? Well, it's somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Black Flame Blade. You have to be high faith, mostly for the seal. I think it's 30. 27. But it's so stupidly good. Black Flame, percent health damage. I get it. If you really got rid of that, Faith does have a lot of good options, but they don't have a boss melter, I think. Sorceries, you can pull out like Glintstone Spiral, and if you fire that into like the head of a dragon and it runs its course through the body, it will melt them. That said, they do have... Faith has the... Oh, what is it? Pestilent Threads. I love how he will just lose his mind and be like, I need to chase you down. I need to not chase you down. I need to chase you down again. I'm going to walk all the way back around. Indecisive AI. What? Oh. Yeah, like, this is... If there's a fault I'm going to have with Elden Ring, it is their AI pathfinding is brain dead. They will sometimes be like, no, I can't walk around. I'm just going to grind on this pole like a stripper for 20 minutes. It's like, what are you doing? How is your AI failing to pick up a corner? wish we'd get these cool flame cannons. Reminds me of the flamethrowers you can have Ologs use in Shadow of War. There's no reason to loot over there. Even the kukris are kind of a waste. Not looking forward to the Omen. I hate fighting Omens. They're funky. Fat dudes who move way too swift for their size. Unless we get them stuck on terrain. Which I'm all for. Yeah, and we'll have to go do a different fight for Roger's little quest line. We have to make it to the basement of this place. Which is actually just over there. And down. I'm not looking forward to that fight. Yeah, I also have to remember how to get there. I think it's... Yeah, up the elevator, and then we go running around a little. I think 3 is enough. Oh, 2 would have been enough. Cool. Man, I love playing a sorcerer. It's kind of funny because people have hated on caster builds for as long as I can remember. But I think it's mostly... Like, I think it really took off in Dark Souls 2 with Havel mages.
You were well, tarnished. I am the Felly. I'm here by decree. How utter this graft is.
Oh, I think we can get her to help too, which is cool.
I ask you call upon the winds run from certain father.
Yeah, we get her as help. Yeah, like Havel mages, and if you've never experienced the Havel mage, you're lucky. Because the Havel mage was... Back in the day, you could essentially make yourself immune to pretty much any and all stagger. So what people would do... I remember this... No, this was DS1, I think. Because I think I had this happen back in like Blight Town. But what would happen is they'd use some of the pyromancies that did like crazy AoE damage around them. Because I got cornered in a building, and this Havel Mage just rolled up, stood in the doorway, cast the spell, and I couldn't knock him out of the spell. And it just liquefied me. But you know, I get it. I understand people's hatred for that. Like, it sucks. Being on the receiving end of that isn't a fun or enlightening experience. Come on. We gotta make it to that statue. Thank you. Thought I rolled that in time. Yeah, those statues need big guys to break them. But yeah, I understand hatred for like Havel mages. But I don't even play like that. Personally, I go for trying to style on people as much as possible. If I can't look as drippy as humanly possible, then I'm not doing it right. Or in the case of moments like this where I just look like an absolute gremlin. Yeah, Stormcaller, that's a fun one. I'm going to go back to this chamber so I can heal, go up the lift, clear everybody, and then do the boss fight. Yeah, because we gotta, for Roger's thing, we gotta go up, around, through, that way, down, down, further down, boss fight. Which I could probably do, but I want Shard Spiral for that. Yay, pots! Which, actually, I want to look. Ooh, I need a certain pot. Not for this fight, but just... I need holy pots so that I can take out deathright birds easier. Because that will make my job a lot easier. Since I don't have access to holy damage. Could do the extra strength. So I can use the lance. Nah, we're not using the lance right now. We'll get Nepheli. We will summon our jellyfish. And that should render this fight pretty easy.
Mighty dragon, thou the true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. The lowly tarnished. Plain as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden.
I know I'm not alone in saying I thought they were going to lean a lot more into the grafting side of things in the story. I thought that was going to be just like a huge story element. And they're just like, nah, it's this fight. And then we're pretty much done with that story beat. And like, that makes sense. But also, that kind of sucks. I really like this whole story element.
Truest of dragons. Lend me thy strength.
God. Yeah, having a summon to just tank is nice. And the power of the jellyfish.
To our home, bathed in rays of gold.
Yeah. Now we can go get his great rune, which is probably one of the best great runes because it's just stat up.
What a pathetic excuse for a lord you were. Craven to the bone. Pushing me about like that. And after all that grafting, where did that get you? Look down on me, would ya?
It's also kind of weird because, like, what happened to the rest of him now? He's just a stump.
Feel it. Oh, he got what he would tell you though. He had.
Yeah, he does not sell anything I need. We'll open up this way, even though it's just a shortcut. It is a shortcut, but it's the long shortcut because it's the way out and along this road. But you can also just ride torrent along this. But I guess it's one of those nobody's. Like, how many people really explored and found that, and how many people kind of tunnel vision were like, oh, this is the direction you have to go. All right. This is strange too, where there's nothing here. I feel like this should have been made a bedroom. Just to explain, like, oh, Godfrey just or God, I think it's Godfroy, because there's Godfrey and Godfroy. Great naming. But like, he just hangs out here. Yay, grape. If I want to, I can go down the frenzied flame ending, but I already got that. I actually need the basic ending. Now we got taupes over here, and I think, yep, an upgrade.
Your time, believe it or not, for us. Well, bless you're a true. My name is Topes. Presuming you're only.
I'm not buying Starlight. It's not worth it.
Of course. Apologies, I'm afraid mine. All right, I can tell you what I know. You've seen that struck. That's the only it's those after they declare the academy, as you might have guessed, making entry to and so on. When they cast, why not without one? And you'll never. And if you once you've time, would you consider? I know it, but still, you've taken an apprentice. Well, that is something. Selin was well known. I followed her at school. But Selin was accused of unthinkable treatment of certain sorcerers. I still do the illustrious Selin.
Yeah, so that's all done. We won't get back to here until, like, here on the map. Right, we gotta... Take it to the bridge. That'll be... that should be easy. And we get a level. And that's also why I kind of want to just power up my actual base stats. Because my flasks, I know, are overdoing... They're like overperforming on the FP front. Where'd everybody go? I hate how long their wind-up is. Nope, I can't do anything about that. That is the one fun thing that Archer does friendly fire. And normal fire, apparently. Okay, we're just gonna back all the way up then. I'm sorry, game, I was trying to have fun. Oh, everything's short. Yeah, the Golem Bridge is a little BS at times. It's great if you can line them up and the archer takes care of them, but that is not guaranteed. Or if you just do this and bait every shot into a pillar. Which I'm amazed they didn't make these indestructible, or they didn't make these destructible. Five great arrows for all that. And let's get one of my many fun hats. Yeah, my other scarab hat. I love the scarab hats. Even though I think the bonus to penalty ratio of taking increased damage is a little steep, I like the look of them. Man, I remember when before Scholar of the First Sin, Shadow of the Erdtree came out, the map, people were looking at it and they saw the Divine Tower locations, and there's a central empty area, and people were like, oh, you have to activate all the towers, and then that'll be where the DLC is. And instead it's just like, yeah, go kill Moog. And touch the weird egg. I need a better hat. Sadly, this hat is very good stat-wise. Also, heavy. The finger. Yeah, first great rune. Now we can... I think we have to equip it at a Site of Grace, but we can use that. How many arcs do I even have? None. Well, that's not going to help me then. I would actually need to go help players to get rune arcs. Which is what I did before and farmed out hundreds. But I am going to call the stream here. I will not be streaming tomorrow. I am taking the day off. But I'll be back next week. Streaming Thursday. Probably more Slay the Spire. I'm having fun with that. Friday, maybe Elden Ring. Maybe something else. I don't know. Same as Saturday. Might mix it up. But that's really all I have. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the like button. Helps out the channel a lot. Lets me know what you want to see. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Lets you know when I go live and when my videos come out. And yeah, I will see you next week.